per se and the other forces. So if you all have to analyze it this way, you can have different logic to say that your entire argument for last 2-3 days, or all the journalists are saying, large turnout against the government, people.
No one.
I think it's completely wrong.
No, they sir,
Or maybe
2005,
I thought so.
2005 when
so.
Nitish Babu came, Zaka was putting out the numbers, 40% voting, very little voting when Nitish Babu came when Sarkar palta. So the voter did not come out to vote for RJD. Those who wanted to vote for Nitish Babu, they came, and that's how the numbers happened. It's one of the lowest numbers in 2005. So Bihar itself shows that. But let's go. Rajiv ji, please stay on with us. We are doing the mega exit poll here at News 18. So quickly taking you through the methodology before we go to Umesh Jha and Sandeep Shastri ji. Poll methodology, 122 Vidhan Sabha constituencies have been covered out of the 243, 255 interviews in each constituency. 15 polling booths have been picked via random sampling, structured questionnaire in Hindi via app, and field work on the day and day after polling for phase 1, and for phase 2 respondents have been asked on polling day. Every interview has been geotagged for authenticity. So that's how this exit poll is going to be done, being done. We will have the numbers trickling in about 15 minutes, basis phase 1, and then phase 2, the consolidated numbers by about 7:30. Umesh ji, please tell us what's been the response on ground and what should we expect? Is this closer? Is it going to be closer or leaning? The trend is towards the Satta Bazaar predictions, or is there something different?
Well, I've seen the numbers for phase 1 so far, and from phase 1 numbers, we can conclude that NDA will do relatively better than what they did in 2020 election in the constituencies which went to polls in phase 1. And the important part here is that this improvement will be largely because of better performance by JDU. So BJP will more or less consolidate on where it was. It's JDU which will improve its tally from 2020.
So JDU strike rate will be better, and that many people are predicting. Did you get a sense of why? Is it because of Nitish Babu? Is it because of the fact that the Modi-Nitish combo was actively projected right through?
It's the LJP factor. In 2020, there were about 33 seats where JDU could have won if LJP was contesting as part of NDA.
Right.
But that didn't happen. So out of those 33 seats, I see that there are about 21 seats which are in phase 1 this time. And out of the 21 seats, JDU seems to be winning 15-16 seats out of that. So that's adding to the tally of NDA.
Right.
And that consolidation of NDA votes is perhaps what is making the most important difference here.
Very interesting. Will be interesting to see, will LJP return the kind of strike rate that it's expected, because it's pulled about 29 seats to itself. Now many believe bahut zyada de diya to Chirag Paswan. Will he actually live up to that expectation? Nalin Mehta has a point, and then Sandeep ji, please weigh in. Yes, Nalin Mehta.
JDU factor, I want to add to what Nisala was saying. In the Lok Sabha of 2024 results, the JDU seat share was up to 72 from 43 last time, if you extrapolate the Lok Sabha to the Vidhan Sabha, which meant the strike rate went up significantly. A lot of that was because of the surprise that happened with LJP last time, LJP cutting a lot of votes and so on. This time, they're all fighting together, while there have been issues within the alliance. At the moment, if the JDU is going to be in the forefront, and I think it is at the moment, and let's wait for the election results or the exit poll results, then you might be seeing a replication of the 2024 kind of matrix, where the JDU strike rate increases significantly, the BJP remains more or less similar to where it was, and RJD and Congress go further down compared to 2020. That's what happened in 2024. The question is, what has changed in Patna between 2024 to now? We have not seen any significant evidence of a massive shift on the ground from that matrix.
Right. Rajiv Rudy has limited time with us. So Rajiv ji, just quickly asking, MY factor, Mahila youth, Mahila Yuva or Muslim Yadav? क्या बढ़ चढ़ के बोलेगा सर?
नहीं, Muslim Yadav to always speaks in a loud tone, and that is what scares everyone away. And I have an experience, if you can count my experience, though I can speak slight bit of English too. 7 terms in parliament, 1 term as an MLA. I can see it on the ground, and I have been moving around in the state, in my assembly constituency, in my parliament, and across North Bihar. North Bihar always fares better than the South Bihar, but this election, South Bihar is faring well. And now it's a quiet voting. People are not speaking, there is no wave, and there is no anti-wave against the government. And there is some credibility which is there with the government. When we talked about LJP, LJP would not add seats, but the overall political combination which has emerged, or the combination has sent a message for all of them to vote together. So that factor, and I would still agree, because on ground, when I was visiting BJP seats and when I was visiting JDU seats, I would feel that JDU is gaining. BJP would certainly retain its position. Government in Bihar will certainly be this time again for NDA, because you all must remember, this is a phase when Bihar will see an end of Lalu Yadav, and possibly also with age coming in on leadership on my side or the NDA side also. But it is, till date, it is a battle drawn between Nitish Kumar and Lalu Yadav, and Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi. So obvious, the results are obvious, and this could be my
आपका इलाका में
version
सब
of my
सेफ है
explanation.
सर सारण में?
नहीं, हमारा इलाका तो सबसे खतरनाक है बिहार के राजनीति में. मैं खुद ही लालू जी से पिछले 40 साल से लड़ता रहा हूं. I've been contesting him 40 years. And there is not a single member in his family with whom I have not fought or won or lost. So even his daughter last time. So no one can have a better experience about Lalu Raj in Bihar than Chapla and Rajiv Pratap Rudy with 35 years of contest against him. So possibly you can, next time you can put me on the panel, and I would be very dispassionate in my opinion and come back, and I promised me to give a check, and I can give you better feedback on the subject.
जी, okay, sir.
So great, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Always a
And
pleasure
all the
speaking
best.
with you. Thank you, sir. Sandeep Shastri ji,
Bye,
thank you
bye,
for your
sir. Bye
patience.
to
You've been
everybody.
listening to everybody's opinion. Thank you, Rajiv ji. Sandeep ji, how do you see Bihar? What's happening? We're going to have the numbers very, very soon. Ji.
Thank you, Zaka. It was wonderful listening to colleagues on the panel. This is the challenge of being online in such a program. I think I would make 2-3 points. One, the higher voter turnout both in phase 1 and phase 2. I don't think either side should say it is beneficial to them, because there is no past empirical evidence to show that higher voter turnout helps the defender or helps the challenger. What seems to be crucial in Bihar this time is 2 factors. The MY you referred to, but not the MY which was looked at by Rajiv ji. I think the MY crucial this time is the Mahila and the youth. A higher woman voter turnout as last time, I think will be advantage NDA. And a higher youth turnout is something that can be, both parties are not sure which direction it will move. With 1 out of every 4 voters being youth, the highest anywhere in the country, in the age group of 18 to 29. These are voters who have a strong sense of expectation. These are voters who are aspirational. These are voters who are looking for jobs in Bihar. These are voters who are looking for good skill and employment opportunities in Bihar. And they would look at both the NDA and the Gathbandhan and decide where is the trust quotient higher.
But these are also voters who have not seen Lalu Raj. They have only seen Nitish Raj. Yeah.
Yes, these are voters who have been socialized in the last 20. These have been voters who have been socialized in the last 20 years, much of which has seen Nitish Kumar ji as the chief minister.
Well, Sandeep ji, this is Anand here who's been asking you the question. Zaka is coming in now.
No. So I want to make a point about this higher voter turnout. I think increasingly there is evidence to show that a higher voter turnout happens when there is greater mobilization by both sides. So in this case, for example, in phase 2, if it ends up with 70%, which means 7 out of 10 voters have come out and exercised their franchise, which means both sides had equal motivation to come out and vote. In this case, I think, somebody had mentioned this on the panel the other day as well, is that the JDU voter, the NDA voter knows that this is probably Nitish Kumar's last election, right? So we don't want to retire him in a way that is not befitting for what he's done over the last 20 years. So generally, the incumbent voter is less motivated than the anti-incumbent voter, because the anti-incumbent voter is angry, wants to change, is not happy with the existing situation. So there is greater motivation for the anti-incumbent voter to come out. Whereas in this case, because there's mobilization from both sides, because on the incumbent side, it has been made out that we have to give a fitting farewell to the incumbent. That's why you're seeing a higher voter turnout. That's why you're seeing closer to 70%.
And the other thing is this whole
This is
vote
like
chori
Prakash
thing.
Singh Badal.
The
All
last
right,
election.
in 2012,
Yeah.
when he said that, I'm sorry, that, I've had bereavements in my family and this is my last election. And and there was so much anti-incumbency against the Akalis and they still won.
They still won. But here, Nitish has not said this is my last election. It's not been said explicitly anywhere. The other thing is this vote chori will work only if my vote is absent. The number of people who are saying that my name is not there in the voter list is not as big as the amount that it was made. And there is a variance between Tejashwi and Rahul Gandhi in terms of what should be the issue on which the opposition should come together as a plank. Tejashwi was trying to focus on jobs, on bar, etc. And he was saying, no, let's push vote chori. And that there itself, the opposition seemed disjointed. But is that going to be a factor? We'll wait and say, yes, Rahul.
So I want to make 2 points. One, I think on the JDU performance, because the suggestion from every corner is that JDU is likely to perform better compared to past. One reason could be basically it was hurt in 2020 because of LJP. But right. I think what is also happening that JDU might be actually benefiting from a pro-incumbency wave, which is rare in elections after 4 terms. And this is like not just a sympathy factor. I think what seems to be happening, Nistula said, and I have read different reports in various newspapers, I think Nitish Kumar is emerging as a pan-Bihar sort of like a figure who can be in the middle in a very, very polarized politics and keep that middle voter,
But
you will
wasn't
say,
that always the case, Rahul? That was always the case for the last 20 years.
But see, the difference between 2020 and 2025 is that 2020 was like a election which was basically, you didn't have any mobilization, right? There was much more fatigue. The question is what actually changed between 2020 or 2024 and 2025 that Nitish is basically seen as this kind of...
I want to add one more point to what Nalin said. There is a big difference between the 24 election and the 25 election. That is Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi is not on the ticket this time around, whereas he was in 2024 And I think that's a big difference. I mean, people vote differently in parliamentary and in assembly elections.
Specifically, Bihar
May I
has
say that the
demonstrated
difference is that something has shifted, which is that you're right, the BJP does not have a ground leader in Bihar, and that's a big issue for the BJP.
Yeah.
So Mr. Modi is the sort of the big vote catcher in the center. With RJD, and I think there's a substantial difference between UP and Bihar, which is that unlike Akhilesh in UP, who managed to broad base and build a much larger social coalition by giving tickets to many more people outside the Yadav Muslim alliance. Tejashwi has not done that. If you look at the ticket selection, he's fought this election. The last election, 2020, he fought very much like the insurgent candidate who was going to be the real challenger. This election, he's fought much more like a local regional satrap, where he's not really expanded his ticket selection to areas outside of the Yadavs and Muslims. So it's appealing much more to the converted and not necessarily to the middle ground.
And
Rahul
get the
Gandhi
data.
We should get the first data, but before we get the
not
first data, it's just about 3-4 minutes that before we put the first one. Let's get Zaka on the wall and try and understand which are the big factors. Mahila Yuva, if you can say phase 1, phase 2, where do the women actually vote and which seats?
Yeah,
Can we
so-
just quickly look at as we get the first predictions out? Yeah.
Yeah, so, everybody's been talking about the Mahila vote. So we looked at the 2020